October 17th, 2013. On this day 10 years ago is when the Pokemon XY anime first aired in Japan. The XY anime is one of the most beloved Pokemon anime series among the fans and considered by many to be the best Pokemon anime series. This show is the favorite of many Pokemon fans and by some even considered to be the peak of the Pokemon anime. From a compelling narrative to a well-written story, incredible character development, and elevating Pokemon battles to never before seen heights, the XY anime really went above and beyond. Even after 10 years and 2 additional Pokemon anime series following XY, this series still manages to hold up as one of the best series, and some even called the series the last great Pokemon series. XY truly was that anime, and was so life-changing and impactful for so many people. That's why to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the XY anime, we'll be looking back at what I consider to be the 10 best moments of XY. Now this series was full of great moments from start to finish, so narrowing down the list to just 10 was quite the challenge. I also had to refrain myself from filling the list with battle moments, or the whole list would have probably just been battles. So if I discuss a battle, I will only discuss one particular portion of that battle, or the battle has to be a 1v1. Among all the relationships, the character arcs, the conflicts, and emotion this series had to offer, I think I've made a great list of 10 moments that truly define why the XY anime is as beloved as it is. Also please note that these moments are in no particular order, and that this is all just my opinion at the end of the day. With that being said, leave your favorite moments in the comments below, and here are the 10 best moments in the XY anime. Let's get started. Starting off our list, let's head back to the very beginning of XY with its 2-part premiere, as this entry is for the moment Ash first stood atop Prism Tower to quell a rampaging Garchomp. Even that sentence alone shows how badass Ash was during this series. This moment truly left a lasting impression on me even after all these years, because the 2-part premiere for X and Y had such a build up to it. After the conclusion of Black and White, there was about a 6-week break prior to the premiere of X and Y. During that time, they showcased a remastered HD version of the first Pokemon movie, the 3 episodes where Ash caught Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, as well as the Mewtwo special, Prologue to Awakening, and the Genesect movie. I thought it was quite odd that of all the things to rerun, they chose those movies and episodes, but in my mind I was thinking that the premiere of the new series would have to be something amazing, and I was not disappointed. I was amazed and in awe from how good the premiere of XY looked, from the art style, Ash's badass nature and maturity, and the breathtaking animation and brand new 3D camera. Now prior to Ash getting to the top of Prism Tower, we had his cool entrance off the plane when he arrived in Kalos, him showing off his battle prowess against Clement and saving Froakie from Team Rocket. But this moment right here is what solidified Ash's badass nature and cool factor for the entire anime. This man went running through Lumio City chasing down this Garchomp like a boss, and had the guts to climb all the way up to Prism Tower to face off against Garchomp. The way he stands up, the slow camera pan up his body makes him look so dynamic in the shot, as well as the sunset lighting behind Ash. On top of it, Ash's act of bravery and courage even inspires Clement to start climbing the tower as well to try and help Ash. Everyone on the streets below and watching at home are in shock to Ash's bravery and heroic acts. This was just a taste of how influential Ash as a trainer and character would become throughout this series to so many people. Ash even displays an improved sense of maturity here, as when Pikachu is ready to attack Garchomp, Ash quickly tells Pikachu that they shouldn't attack because they would only make things worse. In the past, Ash would usually be quick to attack, but here he shows patience and observation to the situation at hand to move forward with the best option. This moment had me on the edge of my seat even if I was 16 when XY aired. I felt like a kid again watching Pokemon for the first time. Everything about Ash quelling Garchomp's rage atop Prism Tower was fantastic, and the writers don't even stop there, because they even have Ash jump off the freaking top of the tower to save Pikachu from falling to its doom as the icing on the cake. This was a fantastic portrayal of Ash's character in the first 2 episodes, but the moment on top of Prism Tower is what really does it for me to kick off our appreciation of XY. Now before we discuss the rest of the moments on this list, I do want to quickly discuss some other amazing moments that just fell short of this list that I'd still like to look back on. Firstly are several evolutions, being Noibat into Noivern, Fletchinder into Talonflame, and Frogadier into Greninja. Each one of these evolutions are actually some of my favorite in the entire series. They were so well executed, whether it was just dramatic and epic, or if it was done with taste and style driven by the story of the series. Fletchinder evolving into Talonflame is without a doubt one of the coolest evolutions in the entire Pokemon anime. Our heroes encountered the legendary legendary Pokemon Moltres at a volcano, and after standing up to it as a Fletchinder, Moltres launches Flamethrower at our heroes. Seeing them in danger, Fletchinder races against the attack, begins to evolve to gain the speed necessary to reach them in time. It then blocks the attack and saves them and becomes Talonflame. It then learns Brave Bird as a result of this and goes toe-to-toe with Moltres, landing a powerful Brave Bird attack. But it's shot down by Fire Blast, which gives us this epic shot of Ash risking his life to catch Talonflame. Beautiful and epic. Next, we travel to Sanpei's Ninja Village, where we would see Frogadier evolve into Greninja. In their efforts to try and stop the rogue ninja from taking over the Ninja Village, Ash and friends decide to help out Sanpei's village thwart off the attack. Pikachu takes some heavy damage and Frogadier steps in to defend it from an oncoming attack. This triggers its evolution into Greninja, giving us our first look at
Koga? Oh, Koga, look at you evolving!
This moment is then followed up by the first ever reveal of Ash Greninja, surprising Ash and the viewers as no one saw this coming. It was a totally epic moment and they gave Greninja the coolest debut. And lastly, with Noibat evolving into Noivern, this would be Ash's final Kalos Pokemon to evolve. Ash and friends get caught in a battle with Zapdos while trying to celebrate the Zapdos festival, and after Talonflame goes down after putting up a valiant effort against the Lightning Bird, it's Halucha's turn to step in. But even after dealing a powerful high jump kick to Zapdos, it also goes down. Seeing its big brother in danger as it falls, Noibat tries with all its might to fly fast to save Halucha, which triggers its evolution into Noivern, giving it the speed and power necessary to save its big brother. Then Noivern gets its epic moment to shine in a clash against Zapdos as its debut battle after evolving, and is able to land a powerful Boom Burst attack against the legendary. I absolutely love how all three evolutions demonstrate the close bond between Ash and all his Kalos Pokemon, since each one reached their final stage in order to save someone else. It's truly heartwarming. And I love how both Noivern and Talonflame evolved while battling a legendary Pokemon. Next, I'd like to take a moment to quickly discuss two moments involving Serena! Yes, let's talk about Serena, because I know if I didn't include her at some point in this video, my friend and all the Amore shippers would riot in the comments. The first moment is going to be when Serena cuts her hair after losing her first Pokemon performance. In similar fashion to both May and Dawn, who both cried at their first losses, Serena does the same due to not knowing how to properly deal with defeat just yet after trying her very best. The scene of her crying is just so sad to watch between the music, the lighting, and animation. It was absolutely beautiful. Serena admits to never feeling like this before and recalls all the moments that have led up to this, to her true journey just now beginning. She then chops off her hair in similar fashion to Sakura from Naruto, signifying newfound growth and confidence in her abilities and in herself. This then leads to a cute costume change for Serena and a lovely Amore shipping moment between Ash and Serena, where Ash actually calls Serena cute and the moment is so sweet. Serena then is the first one out the door, running with her head held high with new hopes for the future and brimming with confidence and enthusiasm. Now, of course, the last moment that I need to discuss that didn't quite make the list is, of course, the famous Amore shipping moment that broke the internet when it aired, and that is none other than the kiss. Every Amore shipper knows exactly why this moment is so great. Throughout XY, we knew about Serena's crush on Ash, and it slowly developed and their relationship was nurtured throughout the series. But here, Serena finally gathers up the courage to run back up the escalators after saying goodbye and tell Ash there's one more thing. She runs up to him, everything slows down, the lighting and atmosphere becomes much more romantic and beautiful, and Serena goes on her toes and kisses Ash. Even Pikachu, Clement, and Bonnie are in complete shock, just like the audience. Like, this was crazy! Even to this day, it's wild that this happened. Amore shipping was just everything. I absolutely love this moment so much, and this was such a big win for the Amore shippers and XY fans. I couldn't not talk about this. But now that the honorable mentions have been covered, let's get on to the rest of the XY anime's best moments. Next, let's discuss a truly moving scene being Ash's confrontation to Lysander on top of Prism Tower, where he delivers a truly inspiring speech. During the Team Flare arc, as Lumio City becomes under siege from Team Flare's attack, utilizing the power of Zygarde, Ash and Alain fight against Lysander on top of Prism Tower. They are then joined by Elite Four member Malva, who sides with them. Ash makes a stand against Lysander, saying that he has no right to decide the fate of the world, that the world belongs to people and Pokemon. Ash's maturity here is incredible, and his speech is truly moving. It's one of the most valiant and brave things Ash has ever done as he stands up to Lysander. He's there declaring that he's fighting for everyone's tomorrow. There's people just getting started on their journeys, working towards their dreams, people who are healing, and they all deserve their own tomorrow. I just love the power of Ash's words and the weight they carry. It truly speaks volumes to the theme of XY being that everyone is able to choose their own path, that everyone shapes their own future. Every word spoken by Ash was full of heart, passion, and emotion, and it really hits. Ash stands his ground as he declares Lysander cannot decide the fate of others, and it's one of the coolest Ash moments ever. Now, if Ash's speech to Lysander wasn't moving or emotional enough for you, well, I just hope you have some tissues handy, because next is Bonnie's song to Squishy. Squishy was eventually revealed to be the core form of the legendary Pokemon Zygarde that protects the Kalos region. Bonnie bonded with Squishy throughout the entire season, caring for it, nurturing it, keeping it safe on their adventure, and when it was controlled by Team Flare, Bonnie stepped forward with courage and heart to quell Zygarde's wrath. While not listening at first, Bonnie breaks down crying at first, overwhelmed with sadness at the thought of not being able to get her friend back, hurting that she's seeing her friend in this state. She then begins to sing her song that she made for Zygarde. Through singing all the lines, continuing to get through the entire song and not stopping, eventually Bonnie's voice gets through to Zygarde and is able to come to its senses and misfire its Dragon Pulse attack and protect them from the falling debris. Zygarde and Bonnie share a beautiful reunion and it returns to its normal core form, resting in Bonnie's hands. This was a beautiful display of the bond between people and Pokemon. Bonnie at such a young age took on the role of looking after two Pokemon throughout XY and bonded so immensely with the legendary that the power of science was not able to overcome the power of love and friendship that exists between Squishy and Bonnie. It was touching, it was heartwarming. I swear I'm not crying. I have dirt in my eye. They just have such a sweet bond. Alright, so moving from lots of emotion, let's switch gears to lots of action and intensity. Let's discuss Ash Greninja versus Mega Gardevoir. Continuing their adventure, Champion Diantha meets up with Ash and company because she wants to learn more about Ash's Greninja after visiting Olympia in Anastar City. Diantha and Ash agree to have battle, and it's a face-off between Gardevoir and Greninja. Now, simply being a match between Ash's Greninja and Diantha's Gardevoir isn't the reason it's here. I included it because this battle marks the moment we've been waiting for since Frogadier evolved into Greninja back at the Ninja Village. The battle starts off the same as Ash's first battle against Diantha, with him being unable to land any attacks because Gardevoir is just too fast. She communicates with her Pokemon via telepathy the same way Annabelle did against Ash in the Battle Frontier, meaning Diantha doesn't have to shout commands when dodging. Greninja is on the offensive and can't do a thing, so Diantha switches to offense to push back Ash and Greninja and bring out their true power as she's curious what makes his Greninja so special. The battle continues and Greninja is able to land a couple hits with Cut by incorporating Double Team into his attacks. Eventually they activate the Ash Greninja form and land another Cut attack on Gardevoir, but it's super powerful. Now Diantha is the one backed into a corner and has to play defense using Reflect against Greninja's Shadow clones.
Eventually, this leads to Ash and Greninja ramping up their power and attacks until finally we get the official reveal of Satoshi Gekkoga. And wow, what an entrance for this Pokemon. And this shocks everyone. We get the formation of its iconic giant water shuriken, which it promptly uses to wreck Diantha's Mega Gardevoir, and had Ash and Greninja not fainted, they most likely would have won.
This moment was absolutely badass, and finally getting to see what Ash Greninja looked like without being concealed by the water veil was great. It may have only launched one attack after being revealed, but it showed off just how powerful it is, and this isn't even the peak of its power because this form hasn't been mastered yet. Ash Greninja may have reverted back soon after being revealed, but man did it truly kick ass in this episode and leave a lasting impression on all of the XY fans and Greninja fans as one of the coolest Pokemon in the entire anime. Let's continue with the Greninja love as we discuss Ash Greninja versus Mega Abomasnow. I promise the rest of this list isn't just Ash Greninja moments. This is the rematch between Ash and Wulfric as he aims to get his 8th and final Kalos Gym Badge. Each side is left with one Pokemon, and now it's time for Ash to show Wulfric just how strong he is. After losing to Wulfric the first time due to being focused on catching up to Sawyer, who already had 8 Gym Badges, Ash got blinded and lost the battle. He then had to work with Greninja to truly become one and master their power in the Ash Greninja form. After achieving mastery over this power, their newfound strength is on full display against Wulfric's Abomasnow. Greninja lands a couple blows with Aerial Ace and Water Shuriken, and then the battle immediately ramps up as they tap into the power of the Ash Greninja transformation, otherwise known as the Bond Phenomenon. This battle was just absolutely insane, and it's even crazier to think that this was Ash's last official gym battle, and it was such a banger. Ash and Greninja are in perfect sync with each other, with Ash and Greninja performing the same movements in unison. I love each and every one of the transitions from Ash to Greninja and vice versa as they carry out an attack. Wulfric's enthusiasm for this battle just makes it so much more enjoyable, and I love the back and forth from both sides. This is the strongest we've seen Greninja thanks to it and Ash mastering their Bond Phenomenon, and in contrast to the last battle where Greninja wasn't really on the same level as Abomasnow, here it's so strong that Wulfric has to respond with Mega Evolution and Mega Evolve his Abomasnow. Of all the surprises for this gym battle, this was great because only 2 gym battles in XY featured Mega Evolution, and I'm so glad the last one did. This was truly Ash's final big challenge to see if he can make it to the Kalos League, and everything from the pacing, the animation, the intensity, and the Aerial Ace finisher that Greninja delivers to Abomasnow was incredible. This gym battle was full of poetry, epicness, and was a great way for Ash and Greninja to wrap up their story in terms of mastering the Bond Phenomenon. Sure, they still have growing to do and lots more to learn, but this is a big accomplishment for them, and outside outstanding moment from XY for sure. Now if you're a fan of the Black and White games, then you definitely loved this moment during the Team Flare arc because we're talking about the Avengers, the Kalos gym leaders, all assembling to help out against the evil Team Flare. Despite the efforts of Serena, Alain, Ash, Steven, Blaziken Mask, and even Professor Sycamore against the moving fortress, it's just too powerful and they cannot stop it on their own. Then a massive blast of energy strikes the fortress and knocks it down, releasing their Pokemon. It's revealed that all the Kalos gym leaders and Champion Diantha fired off that powerful blast to help out. We get this amazing sequence of all the Kalos gym leaders giving great one-liners while striking great poses. This is the exact same moment we see in the Black and White games as the Unova gym leaders stand up to Team Plasma, and I'm so glad it was adapted here into the XY anime. This moment was full of awe and spectacle because none of us were expecting all the gym leaders to help out. They literally assemble Avengers style to work together to take down a common enemy. This is literally the portal scene we'd get 3 years later in Avengers Endgame. It's just so cool. They then continue to work and fight together to take down Lysander's fortress, allowing Ash and Alain to strike at the center of the fortress. They fire off another attack to knock it down, and even if they do need the help of Zygarde to finish the job, it was just so great to see everyone working together. And this was so much more meaningful because Ash had meaningful interactions with each gym leader during this series. He learned lessons from all of them, struggled against them, had rematches against 2 of them, each one helped him grow as a trainer. This is still one of my favorite groups of gym leaders simply because of this moment and how epic it was. Speaking of Kalos gym leaders, let's take a moment to talk about Korrina, one of the best Kalos gym leaders. This moment may come as a shock to you, but one of my favorite moments in X and Y, which I think isn't talked about enough, is actually the moment Korrina and Lucario master Mega Evolution. This was the culmination of XY's first arc where Korrina traveled with Ash and the gang for 5 episodes as Korrina worked on mastering Mega Evolution with her Lucario. Korrina was full of spunk and personality, full of fire, and I loved her. Her introduction was great, and the first time Lucario lost control, I asked myself if I was still watching Pokemon because this was wild. Look at Lucario! The entire arc led to this moment of Korrina and Lucario finally tightening their bond strongly enough to become one and master their power, master Lucario's aura. Mega Lucario is able to hear Korrina's voice and learns Aura Sphere in the process as well. It takes down Team Rocket and unlocks newfound strength. After every failed attempt, every setback, every emotional hurdle between Lucario going rampant, losing to Blaziken, the photo getting burned, and Korrina being unsure if she can even handle the power of Mega Evolution, they finally do it and master it. The time we spend together with Korrina also adds so much more weight to Ash's gym battle against her in Chalor City. Ash has seen Korrina work so hard to master Mega Evolution with Lucario, and he's trained to be able to stand up to that power. But Korrina has also trained while she was waiting for Ash's arrival, and the 2 of them ended up delivering one of the best gym battles in Anipoke history. The showdown between Pikachu and Lucario at the end was just fantastic. For XY's first arc, they knocked it out of the park and wrote a lovely mini-story. Korrina truly had to earn the right to be a Mega Evolution trainer and prove her worth as the Chalor City gym leader. We typically don't spend this much time with a gym leader from any region unless they travel with Ash the entire time, so this was totally different. We got to see what it takes to master Mega Evolution, and this was also great writing as this is the same thing that would happen to Ash later on when he's trying to master the bond phenomenon with Greninja. So all around great writing, Korrina mastering Mega Evolution with Lucario was a wonderful moment that left me so amazed when it first aired. Now it's time to get a bit emotional again, so grab some tissues because I'd like to discuss one of the best goodbye moments in Pokemon history, the departure of the XY gang. Goodbyes are never easy. Some say endings are the best parts, that all journeys come to an end. Well, we've seen several goodbyes before and only a few have felt like this. The goodbye scene for the XY family was so heartbreaking and so bittersweet, words almost don't do it justice. Watching this made me feel just as emotional when I watched the DP family say goodbye. It was full of emotion and sadness, and many tears were shed. After such a long adventure together, they have to part ways to continue their journeys. Serena is headed for the Hoenn region, Ash back to Kanto, and Clement and Bonnie will head home. Everyone in the group is so sad about it because saying goodbye is never easy. Everyone has tears building in their eyes or is already crying, and Hawlucha is actually trying to hold his tears back. Everyone is trying to comfort each other during this time, but it's hardest on Bonnie and Dedenne. Bonnie's just a kid who's probably never felt these emotions so strongly before, and Dedenne just can't bear to say goodbye. So in similar fashion to Dawn's Piplup at the end of Diamond and Pearl, so too does Dedenne run away from the group. It hides, and Bonnie delivers such heartwarming words, which truly display how much she's grown. She's so mature in this moment, even though she's a kid. You can see the sadness in her face and hear it in her voice, and all throughout these moments you can truly see how much of a family this group has become. You can feel their bonds of friendship. And after spending 3 years with this group throughout XY, I'm sure none of us wanted to say goodbye either. Eventually, the group does get to finish their goodbyes, with Serena leaving first and of course kissing Ash before she goes, thus breaking the internet and confessing her love for him. Clement and Ash have one final battle, and I love that these two had the first battle of X and Y and also the last battle of XY, meaning they were also the first and last trainers to use the versus screen in this series. Ash and Clement feel like brothers, to be honest, and their final battle was just so poetic because this is how their journey started. It's what led to Clement growing and developing through Ash's influence. And then when Ash gets on the plane to Kanto, he thinks back on his entire journey through Kalos, and it's not just Ash that does this reflection. Serena, Clement, and Bonnie do so as well, and this scene is made even more emotional because we get to look back at all the awesome memories from X and Y, every single adventure, fun moment, emotional hurdle, big occasion they had, and then of course the episode ends with Ash arriving in Pallet Town and a pan up to the sky with the words, "into our own way." These words truly signifying what XY was all about, finding your own path as a person or trainer, pursuing your own goals and dreams. I loved every moment from this entire goodbye sequence, the tears, the sadness, the poetry, the beauty. It was truly moving, and oh man, I think I'm out of tissues. Let's just get to the next moment. The second to last moment I want to highlight is Ash vs Alain, Ash Greninja vs Mega Charizard X. After years of failing to get past the top 8 and the top 4 of the Pokemon League, Ash has finally made it to the finals as he faces off against one of his greatest rivals and opponents of all time, Alain. Having mastered the Ash Greninja form, Ash can give Alain a battle he can thoroughly enjoy all the way. This is what makes this battle super enjoyable, not just the action, but the narrative weight it carries. This is why so many battles in XY are so damn good. So many of them are filled with heart, passion, narrative weight, developmental importance, and references to other moments. Action is great, but action alone doesn't make a great battle. At this point, Alain has battled numerous Mega Evolved Pokemon, battled Elite Four members, champions, and even legendary Pokemon on top of defeating Kalos' 8 gym leaders. So this man has one hell of a resume. The back and forth between Charizard and Greninja was amazing. The blocks, the counters, the strategies, everything was great. And despite the outcome of this battle being controversial to say the least, it was still a great battle, even if I still hate the fact that Ash lost just like other fans.
Well, it was going up against a Mega Charizard X, you know. They're pretty strong, and I should know that. So the loss makes sense. Plus, the man has battled legendary Pokemon.
Shh, bro, don't let Zach hear you. We may have wanted Greninja to win, especially since this was the first time Ash made it to the finals, but this was still an awesome battle. Ash is the best he's ever been up to this point, and Alain is finally enjoying battling again after simply being stuck on needing to be the strongest to protect who he cares about. Even though that's what really drove him in this battle, but him being able to enjoy this battle is what's really important here. Narratively, this battle was super strong, accompanied by outstanding animation, and let's not forget the giant water shuriken because that thing made my jaw drop. Ash and Greninja pushed the Water Shuriken to its limit in this battle between attacking with it, using it to defend against Blast Burn and Thunder Punch, and of course creating the iconic Rasen Shuriken. My fault, wrong anime. I meant Giant Water Shuriken. All in all, a battle that had me on the edge of my seat, filled with excitement to see who would come out the victor. We finally reached the final moment on this list, being Ash vs Sawyer, Ash Greninja vs Mega Sceptile. This is the battle countless fans credit with being the best battle in all of Pokemon XY, and I don't blame them because I could say the same. The animation, action sequences, and choreography of this battle were next level after an already exhilarating full battle. Sawyer is one of my favorite rivals of Ash because he's a rival that admires Ash and studies him to make himself stronger. In this battle, he puts everything he's learned on the battlefield. This battle has some of the best fluid animation, shading and art, and choreography in all of the Pokemon anime. Plus, just like the previous battle we discussed, it's got great narrative weight behind it as well. Throughout the XYZ season, Sawyer continuously sought to be better than Ash by studying his battle tactics, how his Pokemon each uniquely battled, and how Ash was as a person. For the first time, we had a rival who was behind Ash and was essentially a mentor for. Each interaction between Ash and Sawyer was great, and this is the battle where Sawyer wants to prove that he can truly surpass Ash and reach the next level. But the importance for Ash here is that he used to be behind Sawyer and was scared of being behind. He was so stuck on becoming stronger that it clouded his ability to battle properly against Wolfric the first time. So here he's proving to Sawyer that he's regained his true self by showing him the true power of him and Greninja. The music starts off great in this battle, the clashes are powerful, and I love seeing just how in sync Ash and Greninja are. Sawyer's bond with Sceptile is on full display as this was his starter Pokemon from Hoenn, who he always pitted against Greninja each time they battled. There was so much passion put into this battle, and this is why it remains one of the best battles in all of X and Y and the entire anime. I also need to highlight the final epic clash between Leaf Storm and Water Shuriken. Ash starts off with double team and then immediately creates the biggest Water Shuriken we've ever seen up to this point. Greninja chucks that bad boy at Sceptile and it counters with Leaf Storm. But when the smoke clears, Greninja is revealed to be the winner. After an epic match, Ash moves on to the finals. Such an exhilarating battle from start to finish, and I loved every moment of it, making it one of the best moments in all of Pokemon X and Y. XY was truly a life-changing and impactful Pokemon series filled with incredible and emotional moments from beginning to end, and these were the moments I thought were the best. But which moments do you like the most? Which ones impacted you? Share all your thoughts below, and happy 10 years of Pokemon XY. Until next time, train hard, and I'll catch you guys later.